Hi everybody, sorry I'm late with this video. I know I promised it earlier. I really don't like being back in this pandemic situation. Hopefully we'll get through this and back to live classes soon. I wrote an email to get you curious so we'd have a fun class last week, but the class was canceled because of the Omicron variant. What the email said is a little cryptic, so there's a few things I want to say about it. I'll read it. This week we will focus on the experience of heavy elbows. Now, I'm going to come back to that email in a minute. We've talked about heavy elbows in the past. And as you know, there are 9 gaits in Tai Chi: the ankle, the knees, the hips, wrist, elbow, shoulder, tailbone, head top, and one back in the upper back, the 9 gaits. This is an important one because if the gate is locked, energy can't get out to your hand. So you need to allow the shoulder to relax. And the best thing to do is not force the shoulders down, but just allow your elbows to be heavy. And it will pull your shoulders down. Now, as I'm always anxious to point out, my Tai Chi is not the greatest. I've got a teacher who's constantly fixing me. You got to have a teacher, that's important. However, my words are fairly useful, so I'll focus on that and you'll forgive my Tai Chi errors. We're going to talk about heavy elbows from the very beginning of the form. Now, I know in some schools, the beginning is done this way, where the hands face the body and they stay facing the body, and as you shift your weight and turn, they come in. That's not how the Tam branch of the family has done it. So what I'm going to want to do is do it the way I learned it, which is as soon as I begin doing Tai Chi, my hands come alive as my elbows are heavy and they turn. And I shift my weight and I turn. Now, we have to talk about other things in the email. So remember the heavy elbows. Let them pull you down through your body, through your leg, through your foot, and into the ground. Heavy elbows will help. There's places in the form where you may find it's even more helpful. But the elbow's always heavy. It's not up here like this. The elbow is heavy. See the difference between the shoulder? Even in raising hands, if your elbow's out, it's no good. It's got to be down. Elbow's heavy, okay? We're going to use some images. I like the image of a bar stool. We've talked about bar stools before. And if I turn my waist, again, I can only turn from one leg at a time. I either can close this hip actively or open this hip actively. And when this one actively closes, this one passively opens. And same on this side. But if you can imagine my waist is like a wheel, I want to put that wheel down on a bar stool. So instead of having my back like this, it's sitting down. So that when I shift into a foot, if I imagine a bar stool right here, and I rotate so I can look at somebody to my left, I'm sitting down. And now I'm turning the other way, as my waist is mirroring the top of the bar stool. Remember the bar stool has those screws, goes all the way into the ground? So that's one thing I wanted to talk about that was in the email. I'm not going to make this too long because I'm going to want you to be practicing some of this stuff. I also mentioned whirlpools. And in the classics, there's references to letting the muscles wrap the bones. Now, if I sit down, if you keep your eye on my knee, if I sit down and turn and my knee goes with it, it's very unstable. The knee has to stay where it is. So if the skeleton is staying stable and we're turning, there's a spiral. Our job is to ride that spiral down through our foot and into the ground, while the skeleton stays upright, if I'm lucky. So you want to ride that spiral down. The classics refer to the muscles wrapping the bones. And if you think about it, if we're going to be turning and spiraling and the muscles wrapping the bones, dropping through the leg and into the ground, that's pretty much what I meant by whirlpools. Find the spiral, ride it down, let the muscles wrap the bones. Okay? We have to incorporate relax. I prefer the translation of the word song in Chinese actually means more to be loose and open. So you want to have a quiet foot while you don't want your foot wobbling around. You need to maintain your vertical axis. Think about the three treasures of Chen Manjing and get them lined up. And a couple of things that will help with upright body. One is a 10,000 pound weight on the tip of your sacrum, so it helps pull you down into the ground. And the other is a small 10,000 pound weight at the base of the chin, which helps you lengthen your neck. So if your neck is long and you're sitting down, your spine is open. When you can rotate on the bar stool, find the spiral, your Tai Chi will become more interesting. That's it for this week. Hopefully we'll get back to class soon.